So, good morning. I need to start this episode with an apology because this live is supposed to be on Farmer Harry's page. But I didn't realize that I have to request. When you request, Farmer Harry has never done a live on his page. And when you request it, it takes 24 hours to process. So, Farmer Harry, we will have to do your first live on your page another day, right?
Yeah, well, I have no problem with that. I would like to say a pleasant morning to all subscribers, viewers who just surf the web, and especially I would like to make a statement stating that the dear departed Mr. Bat, we all miss him. He was a very intelligent fellow. He was handy with his hands, and some people asked some question concerning his work ethics, and I thought he was one of the best I come across it. I just miss him. He's a man who helped me a lot within the couple years that I know him. So sad he's dead and gone. Thank you all.
Yeah. Mr. Bat is, they would have the people who still join in the
Yes.
videos and discovering Mr. Bat, and
He's
they would,
still asking.
yeah, so they would then suddenly
Not a
come
day does
across,
pass.
they come across and they realize, hey, what happened? You didn't realize Mr. because they're now joining the story with it now.
Yes, I realize he passed already. And so he helped me a lot within that little short space of time. I always miss him because right now I just be total my thing all you. I could always say, Papa, that's how I used to call him, Papa, when you come back, bring a bag of ice, and he will call me, I will get my ice, and it get harder when me, things different. So, but he will surely be missed. He will always be missed. He had his ways, but he was a good guy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic how I think about being by him when I went to record videos, and he would always, like people would show up, and then it might be has come to visit, or like, hey, but something wrong with the spray can or something, and
Right.
to want to accomplish the fullness that he had towards people. It never, like sometimes, I mean, I hate people might check me for a little help or something, and there might be a little part of me like, gosh, I already had a girl, but
Not with that guy.
but yeah, he
He
always
was
make it look.
always willing to assist anybody. That he had a good temperament. He had love in his heart. He was was a peaceful man. You know, I will miss him surely. A lot of people, those people still asking for him every time I spoke with anyone. They always mention Mr. Bat. And up to last week, I get condolences for his departed soul. May God rest his soul.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
great guy, fantastic
So,
working with
Mr.
her.
Lyndon, there's a question I want to pop at you there. You said, how long have you been writing books?
Wait. Before we get to that question, I wanted to kind of update the people because you and I have a little competition going on. And it's one that I'm taking very seriously, just so you know.
Yes, yeah.
And where things stand in terms, tell us about the competition that we have.
Well, me and you made a bet a couple of weeks back to see who can read more books. But as I said, I always have more times on my hands, so I can read. I can read once I have acquired certain books. I will always be reading more than you. I know this bet is I'm going to win this bet, no matter what you do. Because so far I have read 4 books, right, for this month.
Where you do 4 books already?
Yes, and the 4 books are that you loaned me 2 of them. Actually, 60 Fathers. It was written by a Chinese guy.
You finished that one?
Yes.
Wait about it.
Boy, that
Appeal
book
to you?
is real sad because it's about this 10-year-old boy who got separated from his parents, end up in another village and trying to trek back and had to avoid the Japanese soldier because they was killing and looting and destroying the land. The book is excellent. The writer very good.
Yeah, it's
A short story.
It's one of those books that I saw, and sometimes from time to time, Harry, something I try to do, and I haven't forgotten the question you're asking about the books, right?
No.
Is pick up books or maybe even look at shows that I would never be inclined to watch. Like I look at the cover of that book and I tell myself, this is not a book I would really read.
Yes,
a little bit picky about what you read.
yes.
And I read that book and I thoroughly enjoyed. What's the name of it again?
60 Fathers.
60 Fathers.
Because when the youth was found by the soldiers and they took him to American base, it was like 60 guys was living there and everybody took care of him.
And it was fortunately there was a pilot that he had helped that ended up bouncing up again.
Yes, and he ended up finding back his mother and his father.
Yeah, boy.
It was a nice story.
And is it based on a true story at some
point?
point?
Yeah, it is based on a true story.
Yeah, fantastic book. I really enjoyed that book, and not many pages.
That's the first one I read for the month January, and then I come and I read Spider. Here Comes the Spider by the Patterson writer.
Yeah.
It is an excellent storyline too,
You ever saw the movie with Morgan Freeman?
No, I never did.
It's an interesting movie. Yeah,
Well,
it's I'm gonna
maybe
see
I
that.
can watch it because the book is very interesting. Then I come and I read this Tom Clancy.
But
Mhm.
you running through some Tom Clancy right no Tintin
No,
books.
but there's a big book here, but there's not many page 400 and some numbers.
So I am on
It's
my
called Balance of Power. It's a very thing. It's about high places, big government institution, the CIA, national security, the president. You know, it's a really interesting book.
yeah. I read
And
some.
now, coming to the real topic, I read this book called 90 Days of Violence. It was written by one writer called Mr. Lyndon Batiste. And I was wondering, he said it was his first book he ever written. It is an inspiring novel. It was everything on that's happening into Trinidad right now, from the crime to corruption to the politicians. It works. I was wondering why this guy continue to write more novels. He does well with his short story, but I'm thinking he's a good writer when it comes to novels.
And that's the first. And in fact, thank you very much for your
You're inspiring a book for a
the,
reader like me. I thought it was great. So I don't see you having a problem by going to write bigger books instead of short. No, your short stories is very good. But I would like you to write another. Even if
I,
it's about myself.
and
You can write.
I think that's one of the books that should be written. The
Yeah.
book called Faba Harry Boy.
Yeah. Maybe in a time
Hmm.
when we can do. But coming back to that book, London, I never thought before I read that book and think the kind of the way you headline the book, you never drop from a scene like how you do in movies and stuff. You're always on par with your characters. You make no mistake. For writers, like writers then does have blocks. And I watching that book, when I read that book, I said, but this man could be a bestseller. You need to write some more novels. People, are they hearing this? The man is our best writer. I'll try and put this in my books
Well,
and
thank
things.
you very much, Faba Harry. I appreciate that. So I did that book back in 2008.
Yes. So that's the time you started to write. But
So,
have you done any novel since?
no, I haven't done any novels since.
What are you waiting on?
Um, in fact, as much as you say you enjoy the story, I
Yes.
think what it is for me is I often regret writing that book first.
It's a best book for a
Yeah,
first time.
and that's why I say I really appreciate because and my personal sentiments is that is a big project, and I think with a little bit more experience, I could have handled it a bit more gracefully.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I really appreciate the compliment, and there are a lot of other people who I kind of always express surprise when somebody say, "Hey, I enjoy the book," and I always feel
I will
pleased.
say
So,
that again. The book is a well
thank you.
written.
Famari making me blush earlier.
It's an excellent book. It's well written.
Food, good morning.
All right. Here's another thing. Well, I read four books so far. I started the fifth, which is a second book. It's called On the Warrior's Path. But then we are going to that. How many have you read so
Way
far?
boy, the 27th, and you on your fifth book. All right, so I have read two books so far. In fact, I have read one and a half. and I read it diligently. I read oh gosh, Out of Murky Waters by Michael Cozier. Michael Cozier is my mom's
Your
brother.
favorite?
When I published my first book, I published yeah, so in fact I have really enjoyed it. The second book is a book that I returned to called A House of Mr. Biswas.
That's an excellent book to
And
by
that is
Vidya Naipaul.
yeah. I try reading in my youth, and I personally I just could have never enjoyed it for some reason. But I think being in hitting 40 years old and maybe having an appreciation for things I previously ignored, I am really enjoying that book right now.
I've read it back in 2012. And I find it was okay. It's an interesting storyline when you look at it, Mr. Biswas, how he ended up in the land, he been working for Colonial Masters. He admired this lady who was like troublesome. The only thing good that come out of it was his daughter in that relationship.
But he's a rebel,
Yeah.
I mean, he growing up in a Hindu environment with the
Yes.
Tulsis
Yeah.
is a real East Indian extended family living in one house. So, but it's
You went
bacchanal
through a
like
real
that.
bacchanal in that book, yes. You're going to enjoy the finishing. I read it. And it was well written.
That book is bacchanal, boy.
But
Like there's the
one
little
thing
subtleties.
with Naipaul, what I discovered was in his writing, he hung on to the colonial system from a long time way back. The white supremacy rule, the English masters. He don't write nothing based on just pure local. I mean, it's a local story, but you had the masters in it.
So wait thinking underrepresent.
Trinidad.
That's the sentiment about it.
Yeah. Most of us, when we leave Trinidad and we go there, we just tell each other, we forget about Trinidad. You know. We acquire out there, we have homes, we get a job, and we start writing. And most of the time when people even go there and they end up winning Olympics and things, you don't hear they mention Trinidad, that people from Trinidad, you know. It's only foreigners that say, yeah, but he's from Trinidad.
But Harry,
my
in the
sentiments.
now, I have no one to forgive me for even using the word blame. Right,
Mm-hmm.
I have no one to blame for this. But since 2008, I have written 4 books. I have helped different people publish, including my dad,
Yes.
12 books, and I have done it with pleasure and pride.
Yes. That's
Have
your job.
have I received support for it to
No.
encourage me to keep going on?
No.
At times, yes, but that support, it very rarely translates into a financial seal. And don't take that to mean that I'm running down money. But I'll use a very simple example. There was one time when I was fortunate enough that the library selected the book in for secondary schools and whatnot, right? I'd visit different schools. And I did that for a number of months. And I did it with pride and pleasure. But there came a time where, look, Word Read Aloud Day is coming up. And a lady from a school called to say, can I arrange with your dad to go, to come and read? And yeah, I told her, I say, I'll talk to him and I'll ask him. However, I have done that for a number of months and it has not translated into, I can't even think about one sale. So for me to go on, keep writing, doing, standing it at my own expense.
Most writers, brother, they struggle, and all writers do struggle. As I tell you, most writers I know is the Zua hippie life, secluded from themselves, from people. And they just actually maybe they write 20 to 30 books before they get recognized. And when they do get recognized, it's like you get the whole barrel of gold one time.
And
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I would take that. Recently, when I talked to Kevin Jarrett, who's in there in the podcast, and you can check out the podcast on Spotify. It's called Caribbean Content Creators, and he said, look, he is sad. This is how he expressed it. It is sad but
Yes.
true. But only when I won the Commonwealth Short Story Prize, people in Trinidad started paying attention to
Yeah,
my work.
we don't. I'm telling you, when you get out there and you're based on your right people, that you only concentrate on all this. So people there's not no time with you because they realize you try that you are we have no time with you. Use a local writer. You here, you're not going nowhere. You should try. Within this time, even if it's to write 5 lines a day and start a new book or novel, no short story. Because I tell you, brother man, that book, it attracts something in me. Because I find you did well. You stick to a particular line. You didn't cross over nowhere, not with the politician, not with the police, not with the jugglers, not even with the henchmen. You stayed on a perfect.
Yeah.
It was right. It was a nice book. It's nice.
And it's built on a very simple idea. That book, 90 Days of Violence. It is
Yes.
built on the idea of what if we had a prime minister that's willing to to lick up people who deserve licking up.
But even in that book, I mentioned that same book, when the security minister went, the MON as they call it, Minister of National Security, when he went to talk to the Prime Minister had hung up. That security minister wasn't telling the Prime Minister everything. But you read between the lines to know that. And that's what makes a book solid in the eyes of a reader. It has a foundation. You can write. Keep up the work, brother. And people support this writer, Mr. Batiste. He's our best. It just will take time. Everything takes time.
But it is that struggle of the isn't unique to the creative person. I could think about you as a farmer, different farmers that and you're there, you're toiling the land, and you're probably not reaping the rewards or the financial aspect of it. I mean, how realistically, by Harry, how much you could do something for pleasure, boy? I mean, even YouTube here, which I enjoy doing. How much I could do it for pleasure?
Because you need finance to continue, you need equipment to upgrade, you need things. Like me, as you said, on the land. I reached a stage in life a couple of years back that I decided, you're not going to get rich by doing this or doing that and thinking people robbing people and killing people and they still not rich because they're losing their life. If you lose your life, all well gone. I think when you're healthy and you can get up and work, as a guy came by me and said, he said, boy, I see like you like to plan, but I still have nothing else to do. I always have something on the land. As bad as it is, you could get up on the money. If you don't want to cook anything from the grocery or market or what, you go right on the land there, pull a cassava or dig a piece of yam, pull a dasheen, something. It always have food on the land. That's my pleasure in life now. I get up on the morning, I just get up real early. I will go there and do a little half an hour walk or hour walk. I satisfied that days I don't do anything because I say it is my land. But the mere idea, it have food and you're living on the land. It come like you doing your work out there. You doing YouTube, you have to depend on the revenues coming in. Sometimes you get small money for an ad, but it doesn't meet your demands. But you have to keep doing it. Someday it's going to fill a bigger hole. Just take time. I think the same way, but I live in day to day.
They go give you a posthumous award. You're going to say, we want an award for what it is, you ain't come here to turn stone morning. Yeah, Harry gonna be turning over every grave, boy. You can say, boy, you got a doctorate, boy, congratulations.
Come like Mr. Bat. When Mr. Bat was alive, he had haters. When he died, I see all the people who really checked for him, who would really cared. But when you look at it in real life, you go to depend on people, you get nothing. It's few people who's going to help you. You have to come out there and scratch your name on a rock. That's you will see progress. Yeah, it's hard, Lyndon. It's hard to scratch your name on a rock out here. If you don't have like solid backings, your name mightn't be Mr. Ramuta or Singh or Batiste. You know what I mean? You have to have some kind of good connection name. The name says it all out here, I feel. If you hook up with the writing. We won't talk about the Prime Minister because his name really had no background. Even for me, my name had no background because I grew up alone, I adopted, moved here, there, and everywhere. But I had a good life. I cannot blame nobody but myself for any things that went wrong. And that's one of the problems we have. We like to blame others for our fault. That is something, Trinidadian have a problem with. I moved this fork here and I put it there. When I found it, say, Glenda, move that there because you never want to take blame for nothing that you do. That's one of our biggest problems. And if we can overcome that, we will see ahead. We will see the light.
Well, look, for instance, I have a pile of ways in my sink there and I refuse. I refuse to take blame for the ways in the sink there. I suspect that Kimberly has something to do with that ways.
Yeah, but she's not feeling well, partner.
Kimberly, if you're looking at this live, I don't know, I don't take any responsibility for the ways that they.
I would like to apologize to him. The fella has no attitude.
Harry, what time you just usually wake up on that morning?
4:30.
4:30.
Well, I get up this morning 10 to 4, but 4:30 is my time to jump. Like, get up, walk outside a bit, see how it's looking. If I find it's still looking too, I go back and lie down for about 10 minutes, and 5 o'clock, I'll go up and make coffee. Yeah.
So when you wake up at 4:30, you will usually move the hammock at that point in time, or you're in the bed there?
The hammock till after 10.
I know you're sleeping on Trump, Yeah, you're good.
You're not hearing.
No, I meet in the conversation there. Oh, okay. Yeah, do some, or remind me to check that. So, folks, whoever part of the world you're tuning in from, I hope you're doing well. Farmer Harry come to check me. This live was supposed to be on Farmer Harry's page. I didn't realize that you could only do a live. The first time it takes 24 hours from the time you request it. So I see what is going on with your phone there. So 4:30. I was doing that the other day, but I kind of slipped back into the habit of going to bed a little bit late.
Let me tell you something, Lyndon. I since I know myself, I could go to bed 2 o'clock in the morning. I know I had to get up 4:30, so I will get up. And that is a thing with me all the time. Rain could be falling. I cannot sleep beyond that time. I mightn't jump off the bed, but I will be up. And I have a habit now at 5 o'clock. I get up and I don't light the fire on the morning. I go light the stove and make coffee. So I go drink a cup and water and sit down on the chair there and think. Handle them dog as it's daylight, feed them. I let them go or not, and I go on and do something in the land. When it's 8 o'clock, I will come back and start to make a breakfast. So 8:30. And then I will sit in the hammock. When I done make breakfast, I'll read a book, a 2 chapters also. Every day. Morning and evening I just read. Because sometimes I work when it's 5 o'clock and I be there, sit down till it get dark and read a couple, It's something I custom with.
My mission. So I would like to resume starting my days as early as 4:30.
Make it healthy.
Yeah, boy. And you feel like you get so much done. I kind of slip back into that bad habit of, I call it a bad habit. Waking back up a little too late because I'm going to bed a little too late. But I need to do that. And 2 other things apart from trying to read 24 books and read more books than you for the year here, that I have done 2 things for the year that I want to share that is doing a lot for me. Number 1, reading. Picking back up reading.
Yes.
The most amount of books I've ever read in 1 year is a year I read, I think is 36, but it might be 32. I think I read about 36 books.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So I say if I could do 2 books a month, but even for 4 books a month.
Try for 4.
Yeah, because that is the only way I stand up a chance in the competition.
Yeah.
Is so 2 things I've done that I am pleased with. I am reading, and I uninstalled WhatsApp from my phone. And I am enjoying a little bit of the mental, I don't know. Yes, I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy people having easy access, whether it's family members. I'm not even talking about subscribers or friends or whatever the case is here. But I think that's that kind of, I don't know if it's kind of like a version, a lame version of when you go into the bush.
Yeah.
And that's kind of on your own.
You don't want to come back out.
Huh?
You don't want to come back out. It come like how you said this WhatsApp. This WhatsApp is a problematic thing because people always message you every time, any hour. Sometimes you're doing something important on our WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You don't want to take it, and that ties you up. So that's sometimes when I get in the bush and you hear from me for 2-3 days. Total seclusion. Because Arnold, it's not like being, as your madam said a couple of weeks ago, you're a celebrity. So take that. It's either you get rid of it or you continue.
Yeah, I plan to reinstall it at some time, but that's having the kind of personal space.
You could take a break, but you need to hook back up. You need to.
The good morning, Reaping What You Sow. I hope you're doing well, sir. And you're working hard. I know Farmer Harry waiting on you. Oh boy. I think I should probably get some coffee for us.
I think he maybe tried to call me too, and but my phone was down for people from fans and whoever, all subscribers, just people who just surf and who just calling. I'm sorry about these couple of days. My phone was really dead for the past 3 days. I know a lot of calls coming. I plan to handle all later on and get back to who I can and whenever. Thank you.
There's something I wanted to ask you. You see, he hoping that he could probably link with you on Tuesday. Next week,
next week Tuesday. Okay, we could link, yeah.
What I will do is I will kind of facilitate the conversation. If you'll have any questions for Farmer Harry here, I am going to pour in some hot water and see if I find a clean cup. to give Farmer Harry a black coffee with some plenty sugar. And there's something I wanted to ask you before I go by that you could probably chat about. It's not about, it is in line with waking up early. You talk about waking up at 4:30.
Every day.
I talk about wanting to do that, spending time reading. How do you, it's along the lines of managing task. Because one of the weaknesses I have is becoming so absorbed in a particular event. Like say, for instance, I decide to clean this kitchen, right? Wash the wares, do everything. Or if I am editing a video, I will find myself, I don't want to move until I finish edit that video. But 2-3 hours may go and other things slip in, which might be cutting the grass.
Well,
so do you be jumping from task to task?
I listening to you. I was going to mention that I does not plan. The very only certain time I will say I will do that tomorrow, praise the Lord. But I will get up in the morning, drink my coffee, and I say, you know what, I'm going to cut some grass this morning. And when I don't cut that grass, something tell me, boy, go and move some stone. I put some stone down there. While I coming back up the track, I decide to pull some grass on the way up. I don't plan.
This is purely on vibe?
Yeah. Natural flowing.
So is it that you could be cutting grass and you might say to yourself, hey, I ain't finished cutting the grass, but I'm going to move some stone?
No, not that. While I cutting the grass and I reach a certain point, I say, you know what, I need to trim this tree. I will put down the waka and I will cut this tree just so. There's a line branch, am I going to move some cassava, cut a fig tree. It's as I go along working, things are just flowing to me. I don't plan to do that, but it just happen. And I just go with the flow. It's very few days I go plan, like, okay, I have to go on the mountain tomorrow, I'll go plan that. I say, you know what, I will go and cut some grass today before I go up in the mountain.
Right.
That's how, I don't really, Lyndon, when you make plans, you could never keep up with it. That is something I learned. I don't make plans at all.
Okay,
Look for instance, in that tell me I come in yesterday, since last week, look, I ain't turn up, but I turn up this morning. Which if you don't see me Friday, I sure to come here. So it's like that. That is about the only plan I have. Come out on a Friday. Which is something I don't do often anymore. Yeah. You see out there, anytime you plan some look at, I told you a month ago that when you want to cut grass, you have to take the Saturday off. A whole week you're busy. You get up on a Saturday morning very early and you do a 2 hours grass cutting. And you're good. You have to plan. Now, if you make that plan, you made the plan and you're not following through. You say, see, you had planned to cut grass every Saturday. It's not working out for you.
Yeah, and Alain tasks appointment.
No plan, man. Get up in the morning, like how you get up this morning. No, you have to wash all them wells. Just wash the people wells. Take it like that. Because you're going to be planning, all right, I'm going to cut some, Harry come and spoil my morning.
Yeah, you're really spoiled.
No, seriously. I mean, you was expecting me. I said, look when I come this morning. You are ways to wash your grass, to cut, and look at what we do.
I do one thing, but that's all right. I'm glad you connected.
Yeah. It's good to be outside sometimes, which I don't like to come out.
I will tell you what, let's for instance. Yesterday, I had intentions of cutting the grass yesterday evening, right?
Right.
I went, Kimberly, not too well, I
said. Yeah.
I picked up the churn, and I say, it hasn't. Now, it's not ideal. The idea typically associated doing something with the churn is midweek, right? And I picked them up and I say, well, these girls, they haven't been well. They now recovered. Let me just carry them out for a little bit. So by fulfilling what I think is our obligation I have as a parent to them, it means some aspect going and slip. Because in this case,
you just answered my question and exactly what I know. I just pop up and you're gone. You're gone with the flow. That's how. Because the day you plan to carry them Chuck E. Cheese or whatever and it happen, you know what's going to happen. Here happen. Girls, I'll get a bed and thing. Let me go so today. You know what I mean? You did not plan that. It just happened. But you have to plan how to cut grass and how to wash this well. Simple. It's a simple thing, It's a real simple thing.
Just do it, boy. Just do it.
Just do it.
But I think I am having, it's like, again, I'm getting things done along the lines of work. Like this is my responsibility in terms of my job. I get things done in terms of the responsibility of parenting. But it's like when that aspect, and this is in the same breath, I feel like as a father and a husband, I just feel sometimes like I'm doing 1/8 of the work that Kimberly doing. Because Kimberly does work hard. Kimberly's trying to do things to entertain the children, to make me happy, the house job responsibility.
And here the hardest thing she does is to keep this kitchen maintained with cooking and keeping it clean and tidy. Fellas, husbands doesn't even look at that, She having a job all days and night. I just call them job 9 to 5, but you know what I mean. 9 to 5, but people say now they're working from 6 to 6, but it's a 9 to 5 work. When she came home, she had to say about the kids a bit, or if you home, you baby, you handle that, but then she had to cook, she had to prepare lunch, she had to do, and it's a job. And a lot of fellas doesn't see that, Yeah, you are use the woman, you have to do that, you must wash the ways, you must. No. You have to give and take. Remember we discussed that in our little program with some relationship and how to handle,
But the majority just really end up to be single moms, right? Yes, it have single fathers out there, and I want to recognize
them as
well.
Up too, yes.
Right?
Yes.
But a single parent, boy, Harry, boy, my heart is bleed for them,
Quite hard.
Because I just say, me and Kim, we together, we trying to, but keep the kid, and still it
have a certain
a single mother.
It have a certain area I just visit in Trinidad, yeah, right? When I go there, it just touch me every time that I see certain people, right? Like women, most of them, their men is in prison. They have 4 kids. They had They told you they like steps and they have one in the arm and they have no support. It's real hard on single mothers. In this country, we have a lot of unwed mothers who have problem because the relationship that they was into was like, they was dealing with drug lords and stuff and young fellas with pants below the waist and things. So them have problem. You can't help everybody, but you have to do what you can. So you must help your spouse.
It's an easy. Big up Nigel Ramke soon. Say big up everyone in the chat. Lyndon Harry, one love, respect to you, Nigel. Is always our big supporter. I mentioned earlier that this live was supposed to be on Farmer Harry's channel, but we're hoping that the next one we could pull off is on Farmer Harry's channel.
Nigel, good morning to you too.
Harry, I saw this thing called the Caribbean content creators. We're talking to writers and different things, right? And I admire the work that you're doing on your YouTube channel, taping the videos. And I know one of the things that you're currently working on right now. Hey, boy, Anna. You really make me cry, yeah?
By the way, good coffee.
It's a little stronger. The last time, Harry, Harry, coffee, he said that coffee, wait, watery.
So this is a good coffee.
So I just trying to scoop up a little heavier for you. Bushman coffee.
Nice.
By recently, Farmer Harry do some work. Now, Harry, let me talk a little bit about Harry's YouTube channel from my point of view, right? Good. Harry's channel, from my point of view, is let's quickly recap some of the early work that we do. Start working with Mr. Bat, bounce up Mr. Harry, start working with Mr. Harry, Mr. Bat deceased. My schedule started changing. I was fortunate and happy that I went back up to continue working with Harry. And then I realized that I wouldn't get to visit Harry as much as possible. For those of you all who haven't realized it as yet, Lyndon Batiste, that channel deals with the past. And that is why, apart from my personal schedule, that is why I'm not posting as often there. That channel deals with the past, and there'll be something coming very soon that kind of show maybe how is pivoting and changing, right? And just setting the stage for the conversation here about Harry. Lyndon Batiste Raw is things that when a creative bug bite me and I want to do something quickly and I put it out there, So I realized that given my schedule, I can't abandon present day Harry. Because remember, Lyndon Batiste, that main channel, what I call the main channel, is dealing. We have a lot of unpublished works.
Yeah, plenty.
Works that you and I do alone.
Work
that we do with Mr. Bat and whatnot. Yeah. So it deals with the past. So I couldn't abandon present day Harry. So that is where, hey Harry, let me start a channel. And I didn't think I was only going to get one video out of Harry on his channel, the Farmer Harry channel. And the links in the description, you could always connect with it. I was pleased to see a second video from Harry that he taped.
Thank you.
And a third video from Harry. And a fourth and fifth video. And then I went up there with Stefan Fellmine for the Trini Alphabet dude. And Harry have, he used the selfie stick that I gave him, and he have a kind of first time I see an upside down tripod. Right? And boy, I was like, all right, look at the innovation that come into the table here. So dealing now with Harry's channel, and the question that I really want to ask is, sorry for setting that's taken so long to set the stage, but I really curious about, I am happy, as I mentioned, how you have embraced the work and you could show up here with videos for us to publish and whatever, right? I'm curious about your past, your youth, and different ways you may have expressed yourself creatively. Were you a painter, a writer?
No, most of my time I work land when I was small. I more work on the land like here what happening. It's a unique skill developed on the land. I learned at an early age to maintain cocoa, trim cocoa, pick cocoa, coffee, cutlass, do whatever, plant. I learned that from small. So while I was growing up from 11 to 17, that is what I was doing. I never looked for a trade. I never become no artist, no writer or anything. I was more onto the land, learning the skill of the land to trim trees. Those days, cocoa and coffee, that had the country running. back in the 70s.
Right.
You understand? So that's what I learned.
But how we traditionally think about ourselves as a creative person. Okay, so like for instance, I'm so happy for the answer because what it shows me is that I may have been ignoring farmers as creative people.
Yes.
But you know, when I tend to think about a creative person as, hey, this man is an artist and he sit down with a piece. So you want along those traditional lines, you were never really inclined in any particular way.
No, all I wanted to do was to learn some kind of trade in building. And when I was 17, I left country and came back to Surrey village, Aroka, to live. And from there, I started to work in town and I learned to build and thing. I learned from a good soldier. I learned to do steel work, masonry work, everything.
And you were always an avid reader.
All the time. Since I small, I started reading comics.
And what is driving you? What is inspiring you to create YouTube videos now? And it's totally. I mean, I don't know that is so sorry for adding. Tell me then we'll get to that aspect.
From having met you and the way you work, and when I see what you do and thing, and then I started to look at video. Before I did any, I was looking at them. Because I love what the people from Thailand and think those short videos they teach you how to cook, how to fish, how to plant, how to see about fruits. So I was always loving it. And then when I come and met you, before I met you, I was having discussion with Papa, Mr. Bad Disease, and he was telling me about you, boy, how you meet a good soldier, boy, and you helping him out and thing, and you put him out there and thing. I was never looking to be out there. But when I started to look at the YouTube and thing and what you did, and then you come and you met me and thing, you inspired me so that every time I go to make a video, I want to do it in a certain manner that at the end of I will always teach you. If it's 2 lines I say, it have to mean something to the people out there when they look at it. It's inspiring. So you inspire me. So I want to inspire others.
Oh gosh, why? If he wasn't on camera, I cry.
No, seriously.
Yeah, no. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Way.
You see, sometimes they say you do not lead a horse to water and you do not put the carrot or how they say it in front of the horse. But you inspired me, and when you give me the accessibility to do the videos. You give me a piece of equipment that I cannot afford to do video. So how am I not going to do it?
Hey, boy.
I'm so inspired by that. Every time I didn't do much video. I don't post up anything really. But you do all the posting. But every time I do a little video, it means something. You know that? It's because of your inspiration. So I want to stay on your footstep. I want to be dogging behind you. You know what I mean? If you know that word.
Well, dogging, is it?
Yeah. Make sure like you're in a footstep, then the dog always in your footstep.
Oh, all right.
Check it out on the dictionary.
Good morning to Kamin Ramki soon. She said, good morning, Mr. Linden and Farmer Harry.
Good morning to you, Mr. Soon.
I seen Andrew Carter and Harry Paul's name popping up. So good morning to you all too. And I hope you're all doing well. I mean, it's fantastic when I look at the work that you do and the recordings you have recently on your Farmer Harry channel. You went up by the border home,
yes,
which I hope to visit one day. And I'm looking at the video you're walking through. You're carrying people you're giving them a verbal, a visual, and a verbal journey as well. There's a little short segment you had. I personally would have liked it to be longer, where you were in the camp with your friend, with your partner, and let making dumpling and tuna. I see plenty of people say they never hear about that one before. You know what I mean? Okay. So is inspiring, and you're getting comments. And one thing, I was talking to an artist recently, and he was talking about the value of feedback in terms of maybe helping people realize things sooner or helping them cross our bridge. And this is the point I get into. That a couple of people have commented in terms of the camera moving a little bit too fast.
Moving fast.
And the beauty of that is that you could use that feedback to pan your camera slow or whatever the case might be, right?
I know I was fast.
We were. Yeah. And that's the beauty of feedback, because a lot of people, they may comment. In the past, people have commented on like audio, they're not hearing me too well, or Mr. Bat, when we would work together, Mr. Bat was a little bit more soft spoken. So there were times where people would miss the audio in it, right? And this feedback improves our lives. And Farmer Harry recently did a job And he comes to me and he says, hey, as part, I want to give you, please hold on to this money for me because I want to buy a particular device that I think will, bring more stability to my videos and whatnot. And when you left that day, boy, I say to myself, I say, wait, boy, that inspire me so much, Harry, that there's so many different things you could buy.
Yeah.
You could take and say, hey, I want to buy salt for my garden to do my trees or some chemical.
But I need the equipment.
And you've taken, and I think this is where it becomes a little bit painful for writers like we were talking about earlier and YouTubers. You now have to dip into funds that you didn't generate off of your YouTube channel.
Hard-earned money.
So you're taking other work, hard-earned money that you work hard for.
Yeah.
You're taking money from other mediums, and I really want to encourage folks. And this is an exchange of services. Farmer Harry has his own YouTube channel, and if it is you have a small business that aligns with Farmer Harry and his work as a farmer, so that you might have, maybe you watch Farmer Harry and you sell plants, or you have an agri shop, or you're into chemicals. Maybe you work at a chemical company based in an agro company based in Trinidad and Tobago. And I think Farmer Harry would do a wonderful job doing sponsored videos for you all, and it will help him grow his channel in a way that he is doing stuff actively in the background to try to improve your viewing experience.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, when you come and I say, wait, look at this man. I mean, my plan is, and I'll tell you my plan outright. My plan is that in the near future, God willing, hopefully it's before you acquire the rest of the funds, that if I in a position that I could put the rest by month end, I could do it and order it for you.
Yeah.
So when you recently, I spoke to Errol Fabian, and I asked him, I said, what's the importance of us supporting local? Because I don't quite get it. And he said to me, he said, he said, art is a civilizing agent. And we have a responsibility to even purchase a CD or buy a ticket to a concert because you're building an industry.
It's really an agent, artist doesn't get enough recognition for whatever type of job he does. And this is something you raise a valuable point there. We need a lot of more backings when you come out there to do. You need support. People, you need the support from the people. Anything you do. Because they say no man is an island. That is an old story. You need help. You always need help. You might have two hands, but sometimes it's just not enough. You need people to support you. When you come out and you put out a book there and there, remember you spend time, you have to pay for the publishing, the printing, everything. That money come out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Now, if they support you and buy the book, you could return that fund from where it come from because you generate funds from that particular thing. Like me, I generate funds from the line. Right now, I always selling at 200 every week. I just live on that. Sometimes I sell more when I sell more. But personally, I show for the week, I can make a $300 off of the land right there. And I'm satisfied with that. Now, I prepare the way so I could get that. And eventually, I will get more. It comes like this YouTube be doing. It doesn't pay much, but it pays a little thing, yeah? Eventually, it'll come up to a lump sum if you left a day. But you cannot depend on that. You have to find some other way to get money.
Yeah.
I mean by robbing and stealing. So if you could do something, you as a writer, you write some more books, you sell your books. Because
Yeah,
what you
boy.
do, you ain't got no money for this. Write some books, try to sell more books, and eventually things will work out for you. You see, you cannot depend on one source of income. You have to have it because people when they leave Trinidad and they go, they work into 3 jobs because they want to come back home, so they save their money. In Trinidad, if he's a writer, he's a writer. If you're planting land, it's only land you're planting. You're looking at me. No, I just plant land when I get a little push, a little 2-3 days. I take that because I could do that work too. So that's we have to look at other avenues, and we need the support locally.
Yeah, boy. And you really have people who I'll call some names just now. Thinking about just to acknowledge a couple of people in the comment section. Maureen, good morning to you. And yeah, man, Nigel, together we aspire, together we achieve in that sense.
But
But I know before I get on to calling the names, I know at times, there have been people. Hey, look, for instance, yesterday, boy, while I was taking the kids out, I drive past a farmer from Cora. But because my money is exact, and now I try to support them when I have, right? Because my money was exact and I was on a particular mission with these children, I had to tell them, hey, my money little exact today. I sorry, I can't support you. I told them that, right? And so sometimes you may, from the consumer's point of view, there may be times that you really want to support. I could think about selling books in the past, and people walk past, and the man tell me outright, he say, brother man, he say, I do not read. He say, I am buying this book to support you. So as a consumer, we don't always have the spending power to support. We had to watch with dollars. So having this conversation mindful of all those factors as well, right? I mean, we ain't walking around with millions of dollars in we pocket that we could just dole out money. But I want to acknowledge, I could talk particularly about the people in the YouTube space that the videos may be popping up. I know they exist elsewhere on Facebook, TikTok, and other places. So they're included in the conversation as well. But I think about different YouTubers going to different places. Recently, I spoke to a guy called Trinbago Vibes. When these and talking, Harry, I really enjoying podcasting right now because it is giving me just this conversation and it's giving me a sense of an appreciation for the work that you do, and I realize the appreciation goes beyond the person I'm talking to.
Yes,
I might I might observe a man in the street differently,
yes,
and say, hey boy, look at the work that going into it, and I acknowledge, Trinbago Vibes. When these fellas go out to a place, they spending this Saturday and this Sunday. Trini out and about. When them fellas go to the river or they busting a lime somewhere, they putting fuel in the car. Yes. They buying chicken, they buying this, they buying that to cook. Recently he do a video. I was supposed to go and check him that day, but it didn't work out that I could have gone. He was up there with another YouTuber named Shine Story. When these fellas jump in whether they jump in the car, a taxi, and they take a drive to Toko to showcase it to the world, they're doing a marvelous service, not just to the people in Trinidad. And Trini is based away worldwide. That if a man come and say, hey boy, you're thinking you are, I have heard the term already, is a kind of what's the term, boy? Oh gosh, is it like a kind of, technically you're working for your country?
Yes. It is
you're not getting necessarily paid from your country, but you are an agent of the country.
Yeah, because people like to look back into Trini and see what's going on.
Why?
Hey, as you enter YouTubers, I'd like to say hello to this fella. Salif, you know who you are, boy. He's a new YouTuber. I wish you all the best. You always texting me and thing, and I doesn't really text him back too.
Okay.
So, hi to you, brother. Morning. Keep up the good work.
And good morning to Barry Mohan here.
Chef Barry, you too, boy. It's a long time I hear from you. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, boy. It is. I think it has boiled down to, doing what you could do when you could do it.
The availability of time and purpose. If you have a purpose in life, like, okay, you want to do, I want to do so and achieve. My purpose is to achieve a little finance and build a nice little 2-room right where I am right now without wood. Having boards and I want to do a little steel thing like pulling and things.
Yes.
Not like I-beam, but Z pulling and.
Has your home reached the place where it gain like some termites and thing?
Yeah, termite and wood. I don't want to be doing that. So if I could achieve a little bit, that is my purpose now. From doing what I do and save a little money. Since I'm at young thing, I have a little small thing, it ain't big, but I always have a little change in my pocket, bad as it is to survive. But I ain't have enough yet to purchase no.
Yeah.
Z pulling.
This question is for people with small businesses or future YouTubers who might be looking at this video and they come across, right? How has YouTube influenced, changed, inspired the way you do business as a farmer?
Well, you have my own say influence. I would say impact.
Impact, thank you. I need to read more books.
You need to.
Susie, good morning.
It has a great impact on my life because, all of a sudden, just so, You know what it is to be walking the street and somebody shouting you from quite down there and running to come and meet you just to get a shake hand? That does something for me. Never expected that. So it's a great impact on my life YouTube has created. That's how I see it. I telling you, it is amazes me that every time I walk the street now, somebody know me. If it's just Farmer Harry, you see man in the video. You know this kind of way. Yeah. So it impacted a great thing in my life.
But does that do something positive for you?
It does. It makes me feel that, yeah, what, we're still doing something good, although it's our worthless people out there, that whatever little that we turn out, it's important to somebody folks in mind. What, to you, I am nothing, but to somebody else, I am the world, you know. I'm just saying that.
Right.
That is how it is. You might feel we're doing nothing but then whatever you do, everybody so greatly appreciated your videos. And then you come and hook up with us. And everybody appreciate the same one. They're just always saying, they always, Lyndon, his family.
You think I get a little bit cynical since you meet me?
Not really. No. You still has that, man.
But I feel I wonder if I get a little. I know something.
You know what? Why?
Kind of annoying at me.
Yeah. You see, you have a lot of fans, and some of them they're annoying because of what they say. I said just say that. But it's the truth. Why did you go off WhatsApp? It's because I avoid somebody's everyday thing. You need a little privacy. Look at
but I opened that door, And so in the same breath, I opened that door. I didn't have to give out my number and whatnot. So I need to acknowledge that I opened that door.
Look at, for the past 3 days, I will call it offline. It's only this morning I going back on communication. I talking from since Tuesday to now. And there's a lot of people calling me later. I have my work cut out. I go to buy my sister and spend a little while and thing, but most of the time I will be on the phone. Because as can return, everybody call or WhatsApp message, but I just try to, because your fans is something. If you look at foreigners and the actors and actresses, after a time the fans just destroy them because they cannot keep up with it. So we have a problem. Basically, we have a little problem. It can be. But you have to know when to stop. You know what I mean? It have people who just give plenty privileges. Like I had this woman calling me all the time. You know?
To acknowledge a couple of people in the comment section.
Yeah,
Susie, good morning. No, we're going good. We'll come back to that conversation. Good morning to you, Susie. It was such a pleasure to meet you in December when I was doing the book sales in Trinity Mall. Nigel Ramke Sr. recommended some books, and I've read 2 of the 3. You said George Orwell's Animal Farm is a fabulous and invaluable read. George Orwell, I discovered him late. Yeah, I read Animal Farm in my younger years. But I discovered his essays late, and I absolutely love his work and some other books that I've read from him that I can't think about right now. Very good essays on writing. I think he has a book like I essay on the politics and writing or English language or something like that. I have not read The White Witch of Rosewall. Never read that. Barry Mohan says, everything cool, Harry, just going through the process of life.
Yes, man.
Barbara's Kitchen, good morning to you. Good greetings from Connecticut. And thank you so much for all the support that you render to us in the comment section. I look forward to your comments and a bunch of different names that's showing up here. Buckland says, gentlemen, enjoying this chat. The harsh reality of now living in a society where one needs to have more than one streams of income. Samuel Selvon, Michael Anthony. I want to go back to that comment by Buckland in a bit. Yeah, our very own V.S. Naipaul and several other astounding writers from this region. We have fantastic writers, and I want to encourage you all. There's a writer I spoke to recently called Kevin Jarrad Hussein. As time allows, I'm working on the video version of the podcast, but it's available on Spotify. And the great thing about podcasting, yes, I read 1984. The great thing about podcasting, folks, is that this is something that you could listen to because it's an audio format. Mm-hmm. You could listen to it. You don't have to be locked on or sitting down behind your television. And I'm not doing this here to promote my own podcast. Maybe there are different things that you are interested in. It might be knitting. It might be sewing. It might be farming. And if you were to get an app like Google Podcast or Spotify, you could search for what your interests are. And how I consume content like that is you might be washing wares, you might be driving in your car, and you could consume it because it comes like a radio format that you're listening to. So that writer, Kevin Jared Hussein, is one that I spoke to, and a lot of the conversations Harry and I are having right now is along the lines that the podcast talking to creative people. So different. We hearing about Buckland mentioned there different streams of income that you could have, right? That you could say, hey, I make money from limes, I make money from ginger, from planting. You recently, I'm so proud of you when you mentioned that you have a service where you're going by this customer, and you're farming the land, you're preparing it. It might be soil that somebody looked at as hard soil, and you're developing it that way. So there's a service that you have. So you have created different streams of income. Something, Harry, there's and these are, so let's divide content into two, right? You have free content. Your YouTube channel currently is a free content stream that you have.
Yes.
Not totally, because people in certain regions may go and they may see an ad play before the actual video, right? So you're generating some revenue off of that. So you have, when that hits 100 US, you have a payment that they could collect. Whether it take you, how long it takes you to collect is based on how much you produce, right? I strongly, because I'm talking, there's a guy I hope to talk to on the podcast soon. His name is Ishmael. And Ishmael is into the business of content creation. And he has been encouraging me and saying, Lyndon, you have different skills, like how to create books. You have skills on how to create websites. You need to be thinking about maybe creating what they call like a digital course. And when you think about you, Farmer Harry, we need, even if it was to take us a week or two, we need to dedicate time towards saying, hey, and this is not free content I'm talking about here. We need to take time. I am going to work. I am going to put all the knowledge, the years of experience that I have into 5 or 6 videos. And this is something that may just be sitting on my YouTube channel. This is not free content for every viewer. If you want access to this particular set of videos, you pay the membership price and you watch the videos. So you will be giving out your farming secrets for a price. That's a project I want to, which will be another stream of income for you.
So what we are saying is that it's time that when we do something, or we get a little earnings, or we have a code. You need to get that code. You have to pay to get that code.
Yes,
it might cost you much, but you need to purchase.
Correct.
Yeah,
because
that's a wise decision.
So apart from you're still doing your everyday videos, I go by the border, I do this. But if you are coming here and you are particularly interested
in a particular content,
in Caribbean farming in Trinidad, how to get the best sweet peppers.
Yes.
Domestic farming. Maybe it might be a video where you make a video showing people this is how you would like. Okay, and here the nice thing about it. We could choose, let me say somebody like my mom and they, right?
Yeah.
Hey, mommy, we coming by here. Harry, go in and set up a garden space for you.
Yes.
You should be able to, in this little simple backyard that you have, reap cassava, whatever the case might be. We do a video on it, and that is a video that is available for, where there's 99 cents US.
Yes.
So who want to support your work more and saying, hey, I am paying Harry for 60 years or 50 years of farming experience in this one video. So my books, okay, so for instance, my books, they're online.
Yeah.
They are available.
People could read them online.
They could go and they could access it. I mightn't sell a book for a couple months.
Yeah, but they're supposed to give a little thing for accessing it online.
So it's another stream. So you have your services, and more, I don't know, boy, I think it's kind of hard for YouTubers and content creators to figure out. You see, when you don't have a particular skill, it's hard to figure out, well, how am I going and sell this? Okay, Trouble.
Yeah.
That guy Trini out and about Trouble.
Yeah.
He's an excellent welder. And maybe one of the things that I need to talk to him about is, hey, you could have a video where you showing people welding secrets. That's not available as a main video, but if somebody wanted to learn welding from you,
they had to pay for it.
They had to pay for it.
Because it's something you only taught in school.
Right.
Yeah, or private institution. So if you could put it online, you need to be paid for it. Service rendered for a fee.
service rendered for a fee.
Yeah. I think you
Because
have a point
because
there.
boy, you know, I would
Because in this life London, we give away too much things and for free. And here I mean, you might be, they say when you give with the left, you don't get it back with the left, you might get it on the right. But if you're giving all the time, sometimes, you know, people get so accustomed with you. Hey, yeah, sometimes we don't need to purchase that from him, man.
Well-
We're getting that for free, man.
somewhere I was reading, or I may have put it on our podcast, where they say the guy was saying, you know, when you do something for free for a long time, it's difficult at first for people to kind of
To adapt.
to adapt. Hey, this is something that you're now offering for.
monitor.
Yeah.
How we will do that? I'm
So-
giving you this thing. You combine the idea of that with 10 lines.
All of a sudden, you will pay for 10 like, and really and truly,
Yes.
hey, you know, now I try and we're just using this as an
That's
example,
just
right?
an example, you know.
But it's a very good example. Now, sometimes you could, I have a responsibility. Yes, you could accept kindness,
Yes.
but sometimes at $20 in a man hand or $40 for whatever, whether it's just a pure act of kindness or
No, not to
Could
go
help.
today, but I will
Mhm.
help that online. Like you come by me 10 people, right? And you bring them. And for instance, we doesn't plan them things. People have 2-3 ladies, 2-3 guys. I will always go and pick a 5 lime or 10 lime and drop a little bag for each one of them, and I don't have no problem with that. So people so accustomed with that when they come, they're expecting whoever will leave with a bottle of wine or whatever. No, I ain't saying that people doesn't come there and leave a little change on the table.
yeah.
But in most of the people, the people that I know and seen, but I always give them a little thing. So them so
Yeah,
glad to
boy.
come by me because you have everything already kind of hard. You don't want to pick too shallow, but if they could take that and they know they have to pay for that. So they saw customer to you already. When you drop this kind of thing on them, now they look at them fellas, they get
Yeah, you get big boy, you get big.
they want to make some money and we know. But you have to look at it from all angles, partner. We talking here and it sounds like fun, but when you look at the nitty-gritty of the stuff, sometimes things is very hard. Because like, okay, for the longest while, I end up doing a little work for you. I took half of that money and give it to purchase something for me. Look at whatever little I went out there, I spent, I buy some groceries and things. I want to buy a bag of salt. The next day money I get, I go to buy a bag of salt because, as I told you, I set some trays with some hot pepper. I did 5 trays and they both began to tell you I want to plant a crop before I could leave to get some
Yes.
extra money. So this is why I'm preparing now to get land clean. I had the pepper, they done bush nice already, like that, you know. So we cannot depend on people to come by you, and when they come by you, they go get a bottle of wine, they go get something. When they come by you, drink a coffee, you go have anything, you offer them something to eat, whatever. They don't have to pay for that. So they saw customers, they will always come to get something to eat, to drink, and go away. But if you leave in any more for money and thing for me, I'll make sure you put in an envelope. So I won't look at the content. I will look at it after.
So yeah, and look, Buckland is in the comment section. He say, Mr. Harry worked so hard his entire life.
Yeah.
A shift from active,
Yeah.
because that's active income you have,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah,
have
yeah.
to go and work
You have to get it. Yeah.
to get it. The passive income is gold.
Mhm.
Jasmine Thomas, a special good day to you.
Morning.
Lyndon, I like that you are always trying to help others, especially YouTubers. It would be nice if you could have a creators forum for YouTubers where they can be guided in responsible etiquette. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you
Excellent.
very much for that comment.
Excellent suggestion. Man.
So the small little brain that I have is working, trying to figure out some things as I go along. And one of the things as I'm hoping that the podcast and even conversations like this with Harry is opening my eyes to certain things, and maybe will hopefully open doors and opportunities like what you suggested there, Jasmine. So thank you very much for your comment and for your kindness. It means a lot.
Pleasant day to you, ma'am.
Yeah.
People always want to know, you know. People always looking for knowledge. And if you have the skill and you could share it, do that. I have no problem with that. As I said, I go down the land. I could do things on the land. When people come, I like to share. That is my skill. I have no problem with sharing something. I might give you a hoot or two, as they say, but you will get something. You don't have to pay for it. But if you have a knowledge that you want to share with the public, and like the lady said, you could open a forum, teach YouTubers the nitty-gritty, the fine points.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do for me, right, Harry? Let's start with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it taking a little bit of groundwork here, right, on
Mhm.
your side. But when you tell me that you have it ready,
Mhm.
I am making a commitment to you. We are going to produce 6 videos. It don't matter how long the videos are, whether it's 10 minutes
5
or
minutes.
45 minutes, whatever. I want you to come up with 6 topic areas that let us target people who are interested in backyard farming, backyard agriculture, right?
Kitchen garden.
And we will be using your kitchen garden. We will be using your area as a stage, right?
To stage a performance.
To stage the performance.
Right.
So you have to write down or document, however you like to document things, 6 topic areas that will deal with domestic kitchen garden, particularly in Trinidad and the Caribbean. And when you have those 6 ideas and the subtopics that you want to address in it from your years of farming experience, I am going to help you record those videos. And we are going to package those 6 videos into, well, long ago, this would have been a DVD, right?
No, it's CD.
No. Right? We are going to package these 6 videos. I am going to do the filming, the editing, everything for you. And we're going to package these 6 videos into a digital course that people could access. It will just be sitting there. So the average Joe ain't going and see this. This is not, yes, subscribers could purchase it if they wanted
Online,
to support you.
I understand what you're saying. There.
But the man worldwide. So in other words, I am thinking about somebody in Grenada, somebody in Jamaica who think, let me look up all little courses I could learn additional material or secrets from. And bam, they'll come across your thing. We set a fair price for these 6 videos. And that's content that you could have on a digital, a passive form of income, as the guys call it, right?
Just when you get a digit, you get money. But it come like this work I'm doing right now for the lady. It's 2 months ago now. And I create some plants, some stone. And if it's so beautiful, these plants are, the lady wouldn't come online to comment because she want to know if I release the video and I flame if I put it.
Yeah.
She didn't want to come out and say nothing.
That's one of the things I have in the background. And look at the form. While that is great work that you're doing, you taking your time to go to these places, you're spending money in transport, buying plants. So it is a lot of physical work that going into it.
As you said, a CD on its own, because like to dig the holes to put on the plant, you have an explanation for every aspect of every move you make where plant is concerned. So it's not going by guess. I'm not doing that by guess. If I tell you X, Y, and Z about that plant, at least I know where I'm coming from.
Exactly.
People might have different philosophy on planting and creating and doing other things, but where it comes to plant, I know exactly what to look for.
So, folks, you know what we could do? Because this commenter here, Hamani, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
And the thing that comes up is, if you are challenged for space, any ideas on how to plant? And that is really a serious consideration with our small backyard. I have a small backyard, but what should I do with it? What should I at least be putting down? So folks, if it is that this is a...
I can give you a piece of advice online, just a minute. If you wouldn't mind. Let me just...
No, yeah, sure, you could do that. Thank you very much, Barbara. I appreciate the donation that they made there in the live chat. Thank you very much.
For the small backyard person who hasn't had any room at all, they have something called PVC pipe, those 4-inch pipe. They cut it in half, drill it on both ends, and hang it with some hangers on your wall. And you could go your side, the celery, your lettuce, your back. Many things can go in a PVC 4x4. And you don't have to have it on the ground. You hang it on your wall. A lot of people is doing it now. That's our advice. You don't have to think.
So that's fantastic, and that is the one of the things you all could do along those lines is that if you more than likely might be living in a space that you might be considering some farming. If you have things or questions that you would like to know, you could actively contribute to this project that Farmer and Harry and I talking about here, which is, submit your questions, your topics that you would like covered, and we will package it into this course.
Hello, if you have even a kitchen window exposed, you can hang something out the window so you can always do it. You could go your side right by your kitchen window, hanging up from your louvers or whatever you have, or your bars. It's easy. And no certain maintenance. You just buy a level, it will be small, so you could purchase the soil, which is, how we call the soil again, oh gosh. ProMix.
Hey, your microphone is in the fridge.
You can use ProMix, and it wouldn't take much in the PVC. You have a 6-foot PVC, or if your window is 4 feet, which normal window is 4 feet, and it has 6 feet too. You just had that you drill 2 holes on either side and you hang it. It come like those flower basket people has hung and plant the orchid. The amount of time and money they spent on the orchid if they was growing something like a lettuce or a
Yo, boy.
You understand? It's simple as that. So don't figure you have space. You have plenty space all on your wall outside now. Some people have the wall well painted and think they won't want to hang something with dirty water going to be running on when they wet their plants. But it's either you want the food or
Yeah,
you go out there and buy it.
boy.
You can grow a lot of these things home by you. Small things like celery, shadow benny, all that going in PVC.
And you know, nice. I mean, I do enjoy the work of planting, but it is when I do make the effort,
It comes nice.
it feels nice when you walk outside and you pick 2-3 blades of shadow belly, a pepper off the tree. And that's the striking thing about working with you. Like when you go, you just watch all the fellas just walk outside and bend over and pick 2 pepper.
Right now, I plant
And wow, boy, that's
half a
fantastic.
dozen tomatoes and them things tall like my waist and they start to bear already right in the other. And I don't give that no kind of treatment like how people will be salting and spraying. I don't do that because when I want to eat something, I hardly use a spray. It's more like organic. Now I go use a little fertilizer to start it to get.
Well, let me get some fertilizer to drink now, huh?
Like
yeah, some wine or something. Not your local wine. I'll find you another wine.
you ever look I have a glass, I have a coffee cup.
Yeah, let me get a nice a special glass now. Barbara's Kitchen, thank you very much for that contribution that you make. We really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Roadstar, and welcome to the chat with us. Farmer Harry and I hanging out. We hope that maybe at least twice for the month. If we get to pull it off every week, that's great.
We wanted to do this on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Time doesn't permit. Sometimes we don't link because for the past couple of days he trying to link with me and I am offline. I had to say offline. A little privacy because it's not my fault, but I guess I have no current and stuff and my phone is run dead when I play or put too much of it.
I had a problem too. Take this run dead when I play with it.
But it's good to get all these comments from people. And I want to thank all the subscribers who just on the web, who just searching. Don't be afraid to ask any question online because we always there, as Lyndon mentioned about the reading and thing, I hadn't much schooling, but I was taught to read from small and I always into reading. I will never stop. My eyes have to go on. While I was growing up with my adopted mother, I used to read with alarm and she said, call with my boy, you go blind yourself, you have to, no reading the night. And I still doing that. No, I mean, I might be losing my sight here.
Hey, but hear this now. I knew I asked you this question already.
Wait, what is this you're drinking here, partner? You're online there, right?
Yeah, we're drinking olive oil here, man. Cheers to you, sir.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah. When last you get your eyes tested, Ari?
I have never done that.
Your words look blurry on the page at all, there?
No, here I'm fine writing. I could certainly go there, but fine writing.
Okay.
Real fine. I doesn't really see it.
But would you like to go and test it?
If I have a reading glasses, although I have my eye tested, it's like a normal thing we could buy on the street to upgrade.
Right.
Yeah.
But would you like me to carry you to get your eyes
That
tested?
costs money. I don't have that to pay. I don't want you to spend the money on me in that manner. I still good. If I need it, I will tell you. Right now, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't do things. All right,
brother.
When I can see when I really cannot see the comma or the dot, I know things bad.
Well, I know to pick up a bottle of the drink at the other poison, you know.
No. I'm very skeptic about those things. Poison doesn't be in the house.
Well, if you drink it, you know it's going to be walking, huh?
Yeah. Long time that was like a tonic to people, but I think that tonic, would have
poison and poison and milk.
Tonic isn't any good. So, look like this morning, I just come to check it, and as you said, on Friday, we didn't expect to do this. This is a while in coming. Last week, we spoke about it. But finally, we getting something out of it. I have people communicating who want to make comments. We are welcome online here. You're welcome, everyone. They give you some US 99 there.
That's from Barbara's Kitchen.
Yeah. That's okay. Thank you, ma'am.
I see a baby doing a fancy snap or something kind of thing. Like
slapping?
No, like when you're cool.
Yeah. It's nice, man. People always want advice, and if you can give it out without charging, people always appreciate it because small people you're dealing with. The big time people wouldn't come on your line. No, you have good people on your line, rich people on your line too. But what I'm saying, people who knew them big farmers and they wouldn't come online because they might figure, oh, them small fellas, man, I'm wasting time. Like a man said when he was planting the pepper, me and you.
Mhm.
He find I planted pepper with a cutlass, but he didn't check the soil. The soil is
Yeah, but I think we need like butter. What's that? I get.
and I'm not no big time farmer like I let them know as the guy was saying I planted small time. That's how I live my life literally. I can't go into big farming because
Yeah.
it takes a lot of currency. Look right now I telling people and I'm ashamed to tell you online. One of the salt I just use is Blue Special just to upgrade the plant fast from the young. We must have a bag of Blue Special now. It costs 400. This same bag of Nutrix we used to buy for they call it 2020. It's 195 for that now. That was only 125. A bottle of poison is like the kind of money I cannot afford to do that. The time them big farmers when them go to buy, they buy 20 bags of salt, a case of poison, a case of Nutrix, whatever. I'm not into that. So I don't want any big farmer to get angry with me because I the tips that I give out a couple
Yeah,
of
no,
months
no, no.
ago.
Well,
You know?
the beauty of it is that this is a particular type of customer that
Yes.
purchasing it.
Yeah.
If it is the but Harry, I heard him. Is it the prime minister use a word there at time, but I didn't know the meaning of that. I had to go for the dictionary. I think umbrage to what you just said there. Umbrage. Yeah, I think that's the word. Some kind of offense or some kind of thing.
That is like between two gaps.
Oh, if you do something
Mhm.
to better your life, to give you access to income that could give you Z pullings for your house, that you could build up a new structure and say, by the sweat of my brow, I have worked for that.
But
And it brings some offense to somebody that may be a friend, a villager. That is them business.
But here what happening? You talk about a word umbrage, right? What I think about that, there is a gap, right, between people. And if you cannot bridge that gap, well, you have to stay on one side of the fence and I on the other side. There's no way I'm going to go word to somebody who is not satisfied and trying to get them satisfied. No. Once I get your atmosphere, how you feel in that environment, I will not have no dealings with you because you know what, it's not compatible. You know, there's always a gap between you and me or other people. I just say, you have a standard, I have a standard. If we can't see eye to eye, there's always that gap.
Yeah,
We
go,
have
go.
to look. You have to learn. You have to watch. You have to be aware. You need to make contact with people who is way out there. The people right next to you, they buy you all the time. They don't have nothing to do with you because they find they have a problem.
And when it is, I mean, like if for instance it may have people, and this is a general conversation that I am having now, right? It may have people that may not as much as glance at you. They don't glance. They don't pick you up to get a drop. They don't have time for you. And you doing something, whether it's as a farmer, you doing something that could educate other people, and suddenly that person who wouldn't as much as glance as you would have the balls to tell you giving out farming secrets or you giving out writing secrets.
I did
As far as I'm concerned, I mean, there is some defect in that person, in my opinion. There's a defect because we don't have a relationship that you even accommodate me.
Lyndon, there's a simple word for that. Selfishness. With people are like that. The biblical story tell you must love thy neighbor as you love thyself. But if you cannot love yourself, how can you love your neighbor? Just think about that. It's impossible. And you're living among people, right? Who living up the road and you don't hear. You stand by the road waiting and then passing you by. Without a so hi, hello, goodbye. That's strange. So it's not everyone you can please. When you step out on a mountain by the road, you know you want to drop your garbage. If you see the neighbor and you say, drop that up the road, they come here, take it and drop it. It's not like we're looking for conversation. But we always want to help someone.
Yeah, but you see, how does the world... I mean, there's a word, and again, I want to remind people that this is a very general conversation that I am having. Yes. I'm not speaking about any particular neighbor of Harry's, any neighbor of mine. This is a general conversation that I am having.
In general.
But I'm a little bit baffled because you're not the first person I would hear say this. Sometimes there's a word, I think I do have a true appreciation for it, because it is, sometimes I think it is even beyond a human being to feel that way, because I don't think I really feel that way about different things. And I could draw from examples. The word is jealousy. You know, like sometimes somebody will say something and they say, yeah, they're just doing that because he jealous, man, or she jealous. And I can be like, what you have to be jealous about it? You know, like people, you're just doing your thing. You do your thing.
Well, there are two other words go with jealousy, and it's very important to understand side by side, envy and greed,
For instance, the way I see it, and I think this is the way that I have always seen things, whether I was working in the writing space or whether I working in the YouTube space here, right? And this is a good example to use here. You started YouTube. I encourage you to start YouTube because I think you have a particular story to tell, and there will be days or weeks I can't visit you, and you could continue to tell your story. Your work is so. The thing about me is the work that I do, it is a little too random. And subscribers, forgive me if I'm saying this the wrong way. All right, I may not be choosing my words wisely here, but let's work with me a little bit, right? The work that I am doing is a little bit too random to generate a serious following. I know I have serious people following me. I know I have people that are interested in work. So that's the little clear up I wanted to do there. This is a farmer, Harry. He does farming. He works with ginger, limes, plantains. He lives in Cora. Because it is more, it's like the blinkers on the horse and it's focused. Somebody who probably pulled you up from Princestown, Penal, other parts of the country. Hey, I am following a farmer here. I like Lyndon and Lyndon cool, the work that the work his wife doing, but they're random, man. They don't really know what I'm about, right? But is focused. So from the get-go, because you have a particular target audience that you're working with, people like your vibes, your cooking, your home, the ambience of the place, your nature walks and whatnot, it's just a matter of time that your subscribers will consistently climb, and you will, if we were to just boil this conversation down to numbers for now, that you are going to be ahead of me in terms of a subscriber count. But if there was a moment where I felt, you know why, Farmer Harry need his own channel, But if it is that I really give Farmer Harry a channel,
you'll be jealous.
You would not have a channel generating another stream of income right now. Yes, you need to work and you get $100 until you get paid, however the case might be.
Yeah.
But the people that I have around me, I accept that the better they do,
it's better you become.
And I do just mean that financially.
No. You always, once you do something good and you help somebody, you will always be better for it.
And if to go back to the farming example now, if Farmer Harry does better, I assume that the lives of people
will be changed
in your circle, whether it's family or friends or whatever, will be improved.
Yes, I think so too.
Say, for example, you're walking out and you're toting bags and you bounce up somebody who toting bags. One day, Farmer Harry might have a donkey with 2 big baskets on either side. And then one day, Farmer Harry might have a Suzuki. Yeah, I could see it a little Ghibli,
Fantasy is a hell of a thing, people.
No, but the better you do is the better the people around you.
Yeah, and you will do too. And one thing I like about you, Linda, before you make any bad statement, you just apologize fast. No, seriously, put our joke aside and think. Is more you do better, more I do better, you will always improve.
Exactly.
Because I am here, and if I as a student, they always say the student is better than the master.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not into that. What I'm saying is this. If I do good, you should be, more, you will be complimented more. People will always remember Lyndon is the man who guide this fellow.
But when I go with you, people just sometimes recognize me too.
You're making that sound terrible. No, but in truth, I noticed that the last time, like people was hailing me and they really think with you too, but most of the time they hailing you, but it happened 1 or 2 times.
and you wouldn't believe that is such a pleasure for me.
Yeah.
But I think we have a responsibility as human beings
Yes.
to really, whether it's a neighbor, a friend, or just somebody.
Like when we was walking the road that day and you made the little shots, people were so appreciative of that because they're glad to see we out on the street. Even when we went to buy the doubles and we didn't get the signer we went for, look at somebody was riding and recognized me one time and then yeah, you must say I recognize by you laugh. By your laugh, the woman recognized you, but she saw me and she know me there, But she recognized you just by your laugh because you wasn't in the picture frame at that moment. So she come out forward to look and see that is Lyndon, boy. Yeah. So you did a good day, man.
No, but Harry, give out to go full circle in this conversation. I think it is really a brilliant contribution that you could make to the world. I don't care about the person who think you giving out farming secrets. You looking at better in your life. You looking at a home that is of a different type of structure, something a little bit more. You had to leave the trail, but you just talk about leaving the trail better.
Yeah.
And we had to do the things to help you leave that trail better,
Yeah. We need to keep the trail always walkable. So who come behind us realize you have, man. That log was in the road, it's Farmer Harry and Lyndon move that. So we obstacles, how we call it, free of that. We can move freely because of what these guys did before us.
Look, and just to give you all a little behind the scenes who may not be familiar with the conversation we have in here. I asked Harry at time, is one of the videos, were you doing bothering building a house? You have a camp. Yes, I know it's an unkind question I probably ask. You're 60, no. You're up in your 60s. What you want to build to upgrade your home for? And he say, I just have a responsibility to leave the trail better than I find it.
Yes.
And that make a real big impact on me, that statement.
Yes. You see, people came before and people come after. And since the beginning of time, somebody always preparing the way. Because I had to go back to the Bible there, one more quote. Prepare ye the way for the coming, He said John was out in the wilderness. He was preparing the way for Christ man to come forward. Because when Christ man walked towards him, he kneeled down and he said, well, Christ man go back. He said, no, you doing a job, that is your job. That is your job. Christ man tell him that is his job. He need to keep doing what he doing. So that is you and that is me. We prepare the way for other people to come behind. We wouldn't always be here. So if we could left something good for them, a foundation where it means something, you have 2 girl children. I don't know if you're going to have any more or whatever, but you need to set a standard. And that standard means leaving your path clean of certain things. It had dirtiness along the way. We cannot avoid that, but you need to prepare much as you could prepare. And leaving your path fixed. You meet up with all the two shoe stone. Like that people up by me there. I individuals and I don't pull up that hole. I have transport coming and check me. I said, but I total my load out the road right now. I don't need transport to come up here. Because if you fix that hole, they go drive up there right now. I have no problem with that. But these are the things you have to look at. Never let people control your life, make you do what you don't want to do. Not because you say I should fold the hole, I will go and fold it. Eventually I might do it, but on my own timing. You are pushing me to do that. And that is
you remind me of Mr. Biswas the way.
You're not pushing me to do that. I'm going to do it on my own time and give it take a year or what. Just like as you mentioned, as I said, I always want to leave the chair better than I met it. Because I want to build a house. I don't know, eventually some little family might want to stay there and I want to leave something better. Because I had this teacher fella checking me right through now. And the whole interest is, ask if you're dead anymore, we're going to tell you, who come in? Why says you're doing all this work? Same thing like what you just said. Why I want to build a house? Yeah, it don't. If I can't do something, I do it. If I can't, well, I'll stay there. If I died in the morning, who's going to take your land? I said, well, then I just run and thief out everything and take what I could take and land will go back in bush. It's just so don't study that. Let me leave the trail clean.
I think one of the things I appreciate what you shared there. One of the things that I am a little bit conflicted about, particularly with the creative work that I'm doing, that we do, is, am I leaving who are leaving the trail better for? Are leaving it better for the children? Yes, I know there are people that they get any value, they see an A, but Trinidad still have a special vibes in the midst of a lot of things that may be going on in the country, pettiness, whatever it might be, right? Killings. That there's still individuals, and there are a lot of people doing this in the YouTube space. They're showing off that it have the essence. It might be watered down like my coffee, but the essence is there. The essence are hardworking men. Beyond, and that's the interesting thing. Beyond Mr. Bata and Mr. Farmer Harry, there's men that working hard, toil in the fields in different ways, toil in office spaces, doing work on the roads in Trinidad and Tobago. You're digging up the road, you're fixing pipes, however the case might be. So you have the essence that's still there. And I think when people see that essence in the form of comedy, in the sense of native videos, entertainment, that there's a kind of a little temporary sigh of relief that the Trinidad we know and love is still there.
Well, we can only do so much at any time, at one time. Yeah, you can never do more than, as the Bible, the load is never too heavy for a man never too heavy for a man to carry. You can only do so much at one time. And if you could help somebody along the way, help them. No, when you're moving on a trail, this is something I want to share. When you're moving on a trail, remember there's some big tit always on the trail. If you are always looking back to help somebody, you will fall in that pit. So sometimes you have to leave people alone. Sorry to say that. Because what if you're not looking at ahead of you, sometimes you will fall in the hole.
You are salty snack?
No, I'm good.
Hey, you know what was one of the hardest things for me to come to terms with as a teacher, boy?
Yeah.
So I teach. I was a little bit more active in teaching in like 2008 around there, right?
Yeah, no, I read up on that a little bit.
And good morning, RH. Good morning, Michelle. I hope you're all doing well.
Morning,
Farmer Harry and I just having a little Friday chat here. We hoping that the next time we do this code, well, then it will be on Farmer Harry's channel. So if you want to subscribe to Farmer Harry, I encourage you to head on over and subscribe to the Farmer Harry, man. You have a lot of great things in store for you all.
No, we're just talking casual here, and it'll be coming out like a philosophy. Because a lot of people not into that. They don't have time for themselves because of the problem with life, everyday work, kids, whatever. So we need to educate some other people. I hadn't much education in my time, but I keep learning every day. Every day is a new knowledge. You can never get away from that. Once you get up on a morning and you're above ground, thank the Lord, people.
Yeah, when you talk about looking back, you don't need to then, boy, so this is more crumbs are taking out there, boy.
No. No, I don't want anything.
You want anything?
No. I'm good.
Nice?
I know I tasted it last time I was here, bro.
Yeah. In teaching, you talk about looking back and people, I smoking a feeling like I'm there with you all. Smoking?
Something wrong?
You're smoking something?
No.
No, I think it's just a little typo. Well, Roadstar, I'm pleased to hear that, and it's so lovely to have you all on board right now, interacting, engaging. We appreciate all the stuff that you do.
It's a good thing about being on live chat. Everybody's seeing it one time per it.
In real time, man.
Any mistake is made, you get alive. We have never planned anything. We don't have no script. We just what's come to mind naturally, one or two questions, little topics. It's not something that we planned. This just happened this morning. So people, bear with us. If you want to comment and say something, we are here. We are willing to accept anything. As how all you all the subscribers, viewers, webbers, all made that choice. Thank you all.
You talk about looking back to help.
Yeah.
And it might have a pit ahead.
Yeah.
When I started teaching in like 2007 around there, and it was particularly big classes. I remember the first time I walked into a class, boy. And I see 60 people in that class. I walk out of the class, you know.
It was too much for you to handle.
Yeah, it was kind of difficult for me to comprehend. I say, I expected to talk to a little 4 or 5 people, you know what I mean?
That time you had a
60 people. But you know what I did? I went and I bought a bottle of water. And you wouldn't believe, just like I don't know if you ever see the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. Inception, you ever see that show?
Yeah, Inception.
And he had this little a totem or something they were calling it. Well, something that he would spin like a top.
And he moving from place to place right fast.
Right. So and you're just going deeper into people's dreams,
Yeah,
right?
and he ended up in the future and had to come back home and
Right.
look at that dead old kind of
And
thing.
that bottle of water was like that's a prop to kind of distract myself
You go back and
temporarily.
you had that in your hand,
Right,
just
you
had to
know?
communicate. Yeah.
As strange as this song is true.
No, that's true, that's true.
But anyway, teaching those classes and in the midst of it, but particularly when it was practical programming classes, you would recognize the people that they're struggling. And what made it a little bit harder was when you recognize somebody who's struggling, but they want it. They want it bad, but there's something in clicking with them, boy. And I mean, at first you kind of take it personal in terms of, what doing right, what doing wrong. Then you try to work extra time with the person, whether it's after class or whatever, but they just have.
Well, Lyndon, it was a pleasant morning being here online with you. And
You ready to go?
No, I'm not yet, but I'm just going to say now, I want to come back to the first topic that we started about your book. I want you to try another novel because I find you're real good at it. And people out there, we have a serious bet going, and I want to beat him with this bet. And I read a lot. I have the time. Lyndon don't have that kind of time. And I'll be reading some books there. We made a bet with him. I mightn't stick to the bet and demand that he get what I need. But at the same time, it's always good to be innovative, to make you have some goal so you can push yourself. Reading is one of the best ability because you learn a lot. How I was like, didn't go to much school. I read a lot, and that inspired me. It make me more knowledgeable. It have words that I don't even understand to this day. I have a big, thick Oxford dictionary. Every
You
time
must show me it when I come.
it's right there on the table all the time. Always there.
All right, I must glimpse it, but
Yeah.
register.
Yeah, what man? When I misunderstood a word until I will just get into that and check it out. So I have an idea what it is. That's why I just said it has certain word I just come up with while you're chatting and thing because it get in my head. I know it. I might be able to explain it all. But people keep reading. I would like you to follow our guidelines with reading. It always upgrade your knowledge. You
Yeah,
might have
boy.
8 or 9 passes, but there's always something in a book that inspire you. Just one word, one paragraph, just a line.
Hey, think about it now. Even if you give yourself 4 books for the year,
That's a
right?
lot.
Right now, Am I interrupting you? Sorry.
No, well.
Right now, I read in a house of Mr. Biswas, right? A book that I tried to read in my youth. And boy, I laugh. It have a man named Harry in it too. I am amazed that I could lie down in bed or sit down in my chair. I have a little chair somewhere in the back there. I like to sit down and read. And I transported to 1940s Trinidad. And this house, the Tulsi house, where this extended East Indian family living, this bacchanal who balling, who had get sapid beer rum, who buy a dollhouse, who mash it up, and to be transported to that time. And when a writer sits down and they, just like videos that Harry might be doing, when a writer sits down and they take an effort, like remember that book called The Gulag Archipelago?
That book started in
And,
Siberia.
and in that book, you have the opportunity in 300 pages to be teleported into communist Russia.
And to make a jail inside a cool with
boy.
ice on your head.
You see when they pack up them train and they carry them into Siberia and men jam up shoulder to shoulder, they ain't seen them for days, man.
No, boy. That is a good story. I mean, that is a documented story. That is a real story by that man make that jail and come
Brilliant
out,
writer, boy. That man have a book. One of the best books I ever read is A Day in the Life of Ivan something. I don't know the Russian name. A Day in the Life of Ivan. That is a fantastic book.
Yeah, them European people.
One of the best books I ever read about Trinidad and Tobago, written by a fellow who live in British Guyana, Mittelhauser. A morning at the office.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that is a book, boy. So we have the opportunity when a writer sits down and do all this work to be teleported into a scenario that's amazing.
We have a good writer here, he died and gone.
Locally here?
Yeah, he died and gone. He wrote a good book, people should read it too because when they feel they like they owe people or they want certain thing. The book was written by Dr. Eric Williams called Capitalism and Slavery. That is one of the best books. And I could make a recommendation for another bad book, but I just can't remember the writer. He's Nigerian. It's called The Wretched Youth.
The Wretched Youth.
Yeah, the wretch of the youth. A wretch is like something you get on your skin and it don't go. It's like a whatever. But a wretch is something you get on your skin. But he called we humans the wretch of the youth. It's a very boss book. I just forgot the name of the writer right now. So people, while you're out there and thing, keep reading. Literacy is one of the best things. You know, we have logic and we have literacy. So if you know,
be inclined to write a book?
here what I'm
Is that you even verbally giving somebody the story?
I wouldn't be no writer, but I will give you the story verbally in a time. And we go start from day one. There's a lot of little cuts here and there in it because I mean I move too much. So you might get story based on different places that like when you asked this morning concerning the skill on the land, and I told you I from 11 before 10 years I working on the land till 17, train on the land to do everything. And when I left I came and I work in the city construction. And then I still go back onto the land now 20 years now and I stop day to day. You acquire certain skill by doing certain things. So I learn the land work from small and that stick with me more. It's important to me to be on the land every day now than to be in the city. You washing the vest?
Yeah, I say if I wash 4 plates every hour, I'll go finish by tomorrow morning.
Hello, good morning. Hi, good morning. I didn't even get any voice now. What happened?
Ah.
I don't know what happened there now. Check this phone for me, Neda.
Yeah. Let me check that phone there.
2 calls for me there.
So I finally returned to the house of Mr. Biswas and I really enjoying that book, boy. Watch of the Earth by Franz Fanton. Big books, Mr. Harry. One day, yes. Oh, Michelle, have you read that book? One Day in the Life of Ivan. Gosh, boy, that was a hard day in that man's life, boy.
Big books.
Oh, sorry, I may have muted it there.
Yeah,
sorry, are you hearing me a little bit better now?
Yeah, but my what they calling some good books there too, boy.
Back hearing?
We can't hear you.
At time,
we can't hear you.
As I pointed my ears and say, hearing. My uncle gave us a story at time about, I think they were in the Coast Guard or something, right?
Yeah.
So, really?
Something wrong,
Irish, yeah, am fine.
Irish can't hear.
I can't hear you all. I don't know. Maybe you could try. If other people hear me, I could probably restart the Banana Bottom by Claude McKay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had this fella called Ernest Hemingway. He wrote a book while he was out in Cuba there. It's a real nice story too.
The Old Man and the Sea?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice story.
Nice story. There are a lot of good books on. My favorite writers are like Ludlum. You know, he's one of my best writers. Like John Grisham. Boy, these fellas know how to write. And especially, well, I like John Grisham. I learn a lot from him because of his...
Hey, like something, I guess like something really messed up with the audio there. I don't know if something probably disconnected. Or what?
Like no sound. But something wrong. I didn't interfere with anything.
No, I know that one for sure. Hold on 1 second. Start up.
Yes, no.
Actually,
your comment. You did. All right.
Hearing us.
Latino. Go to the channel and put. I know. Sometimes we online too much too.
Also, some people say there's 67 people that are hearing. That's odd. Hello. Testing.
But they was going fine so far.
So 57% of the people hearing and 43% not hearing. That is interesting. I have click out of the video and re-enter. I hear it, so I'm not sure what it is unless I have VIP access.
I'll take one to
yeah, the man taking the drugs there, man. Okay, all right, yeah, probably the internet speed to drop off there.
This is non-alcoholic wine for all those who want to.
I'm sorry to inform you that it may be alcoholic. You know?
You serious?
You're fast or not?
Wait now, wait now. No, today's Friday. Yesterday I fasted.
Oh, okay.
I never had this before.
Yeah. So yeah, reading is I am enjoying being off WhatsApp for now. I know some of you all may have reached out on WhatsApp, so I'll catch up with those messages when I come back on.
Michelle get the
I
contact.
enjoy
Michelle Ball, yep. So that means she get through it.
reading.
Yeah.
I creatively I know there's something a little bit of hiccups on my side. There's nothing that I could really pinpoint, but I just going through the motion, trying to figure out things. I am enjoying the podcasting aspect. I really enjoying listening. Recently, the last person I spoke to was Trinbago Vibes. So I'm quietly editing that audio format in the background. And it has apart from learning technical details, just like how people could learn technical details about farming from you, I think there's by listening to people speak about their work, particularly people who doing it as a hobby, creatively enjoying it. There is something that I feel I'm benefiting from. I don't want to, I don't think it's just inspiration to say, hey, I'm feeling inspired by these people, but something about listening to creative people who are passionate about their work. And I experience it working with you too. There's some sense of self development that is there that I can't quite put my finger on, but it is there.
It's hard to put
And
your
I am
finger
enjoying
on.
it.
It's hard to put your finger on it because I keep doing certain things and sometimes I wonder, as to your question, why are you doing this, boy? What sense does it make into? But you need to keep doing what you are doing, no matter if it makes no sense at time to you, because it does make sense to some other person. As I said earlier in the chat, to you I'm nothing, but to somebody I'm the world. So we got to keep doing what we are doing because someday you might be despondent, but I wasted my time, but you're helping somebody out there at the same time. Not with how you're doing it, but what you are saying, how you produces, what you present to the public. It come like me. When I send it out a little bag, I put it in a nice plastic bag. Just the format of that, knowing your presentation is good. Content will be good.
Yeah.
So we have to keep doing what we are doing. No matter the ups and downs. As they just said, and one guy said the internet might be slow on speed this morning, but it back up. Miss Liz says she get into here, people, it's like that.
Yeah, and yeah, the
It's a little
engagement.
pit. And if you keep looking back all the time, you'll end up in those
Yeah.
Come back to that.
I well aware of that, and I appreciate you showing appreciation for the audience that there.
Yeah.
You know, have a couple people commenting and 38 people there clicking like and
And
just
then getting through.
engaging.
Yeah.
Is
What we do? We have to help people,
hmm,
and if you could help them by just how would you do that? Because I'm going
it's
back to the Bible again.
anthropology.
In the beginning was the word, and the word was God. So we need to put out the word there all the time. People have a blessed Friday morning all over the world, all who looking at this. It was nice chatting with you. It's good being here, which we supposed to be doing on a regular monthly basis. I don't know when that will happen.
Yeah,
Thank you all.
yeah. But listen, God willing, I will into something.
Yeah.
And for us, I'll come back to your question about the basic podcast setup before we wrap up.
Mhm.
I am holding you to something which is God willing. The next time you come here and you're in the mood for it, we will be doing a live stream from your Farmer Harry channel. I think it'll be great for people for you to
Yeah.
connect there and something that you could start up, right?
Thank you very much.
So
yeah.
thanks very much.
Yeah, to the
Again.
audience, all Webers, the whole works. Thank you, people. Comments wise.
Yes, man. Big up Farmer Harry and big up everybody in the chat here. So for us, I'll close off with this question that you ask about how much does a basic podcast setup cost? And there are multiple answers. I'll run you through them quickly. This could be the cost of your phone.
Yes.
You could have is always when you're doing you'll notice that this is the microphone that I have here,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to be as close as possible to the sound source. So if it is a solo podcast that you're doing on your own, you could start this with your cell phone. You could be holding your cell phone close to your mouth, you're speaking into it, and there are hosts that you could They're podcast hosts. That's like how you have YouTube as a platform that hosts video.
Yeah.
There are different hosts that you could use. Maybe someday go into this into more detail and put some
We
links. But
could do that. Yeah.
a quick Google
rundown.
search
Yeah.
will show you like podcast host. I am currently using a free service called Anchor, Anchor. And on Anchor, what it does is it allows me to post my podcast for free. And it's working fine. It distributes it to the different platforms like Google Podcast, Spotify, and whatnot. In fact, Anchor is owned by Spotify, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I am not paying anything for hosting. I am not aware. I haven't gone into this. I posted the first episode on November the 1st, 2022. I am not aware of the options that you pay for, what they bring to the table, the different services. But I am happy that it's working, it's distributed out there. In fact, yesterday when I checked, the podcast it reached 500 views. So if it turns out to be something that is profitable, not just in terms of the experience, but maybe I could attract sponsors to the podcast and whatnot, then I may consider saying, well, hey, let me pay for a host, because something like that could cost you about $30 monthly. Currently, as something that's not generating any income for me, I'm not going to pay $30 until I see it probably has some kind of business potential to it. So you could start this with your phone, you could record, you could upload. Let's get a little bit more complicated than that now, or go to the next level. The next level is where you could choose to buy a device like the H1N, which is a recorder. And you may get stereo sound out of it that is better quality than your phone. But in fact, a recording app like your iPhone will work fine. This may be helpful if it is you are thinking about having guests on your show, where you could have a lavalier or a lapel microphone, and you clip it onto you clip it onto Farmer Harry, you're recording into your device. You could do that with your phone as well, because there's what you will have a headphone jack, and it will have a Y splitter on it. And I could get a lapel mic that goes on to Farmer Harry. I could get a lapel mic that goes on to me. Then, so that option might cost you, in terms of the hardware or the equipment for it, about $120 or so.
Wow.
But I recommend, if it's just something that you want to do on your own and you want to see if it has any kind of potential, just start with your cell phone. I had a sense of the direction I wanted to take this was where I wanted to speak particularly to guests and other creators about the work that they're doing. So I went for a device, and in fact, years ago when I started like Red Wall News and that type of nonsense, right?
That's nonsense. That's good.
I'd purchase a device, oh gosh, what they call it, by an audio interface that could jack into my laptop, and I could do recordings straight to the laptop, and it would give you what you call multi-channel. Now, something to note is where I'm doing this podcast is in a noisy space. We have a fridge running in the background. You could hear the wind coming out. So you have different type of microphones you could buy. And to keep it simple for now, you have two types of microphones with different pickup patterns. Like, you'll notice while I'm talking that you might start to hear me a little bit differently as I drift off the microphone. So this is a testing. This is what you call a dynamic microphone. And it may not suit musical recordings, but it suits these type of audio type conversations. Yeah. So there's a dynamic microphone. I'll have links in the description to all these things if you're interested in checking them out. This microphone is $100 microphone. It costs $100. That doesn't include the price of the stand. Now, it gets a little bit more technical, because eventually I wanted to go for what's regarded as the best recorder on the market for podcasting. And I went with something that had just come out, called the Rode Procaster 2. I take a little bit of a chance buying something that I don't know how it will pan out from a business point of view, but I think this exercise is more for a development a kind of self-development for me and to capture things that I think might be ignored for now, like talking to creators. On my website, podbig.com, I recently, in fact, this morning, I published an article called Five Things I Learned from Podcasting. So far, just in a 2 month space of time. So if you check my website, podbig.com, you'll get information on that and my other books. What this device allows me to do, because although I'm speaking here, you will be picking up some of my voice in Farmer Harry's microphone. And what that does is it causes a echoey type sound in your recording. You get something called reverb. So this is what I call a multi-track recorder. So if I was recording and I put it into software, I will have an audio track for Lyndon and I will have an audio track for Farmer Harry. And then I have, it's kind of a tedious task. Maybe there are ways to automate it. But when Farmer Harry is talking, if I didn't mute him here, I have to go through this software. That's what I call mic bleed. So my voice is bleeding into his microphone. And I have to go and find it and silence it and fine tune it because I don't have I don't have a studio to record in. So there's a little bit of extra work that I need to do to make things sound a little bit more pleasant so that you, the viewer, could have a better experience. So I hope that information helped. And if ever you have questions, you could email me. My details is on the website. Check out podbig.com. You could get information on podcasting. If you, something I would really appreciate from you all here is I have a form where you could fill out maybe a creator or guest that you would like to hear on the podcast. And eventually, as I have time, I'm doing things like doing a video version of it as well. So I'm just going to paste a link. And maybe there's a YouTuber, TikTok person that you watch and you wouldn't mind seeing or listening to a conversation with them. So I'm going to paste in the chat section here a link that you could. It helps me reach out or connect to the people that you would like to hear. So that Google form there. Feel free to drop a suggestion or maybe a question that you even have for that creator. So it is true that here's how that form helps me. That form helps me. That form inspired me to connect with Stefan Fellmine, the Trini TikToker that does the Alphabet series. Because somebody posted a question there, and I reached out and turned to him, and it worked out well. Some people have suggested 3D Surfer, and I reached out to them as well. I reached out to him as well, and between trying to plan, it involves some research because then I have to watch the videos, try to come up with questions that I could ask that is sensible and maybe not run of the mill type questions. So yeah, I appreciate you all submitting your questions and whatnot. Somebody suggested I'm going to fill out the form, do a podcast with Rowley. That sounds fantastic. I'd love to speak to Mr. Rowley and what's the leader of the opposition's name again?
Kamala Prasad Bishop.
I know you have the opener now, so I know you're going to know the name. yeah. I'll check out that there. So yeah, bit by bit, who knows what type of doors will open, but I will say from a creative point of view, I don't know how creative it is, but it is something that I am particularly enjoying right now. So I know you all may not be seeing a lot of videos on the main channel. I don't really, my mind, but wouldn't be possible without you all. Yes. Oh,
yeah.
So
I was looking at.
Get off the internet, girl. You're slowing down the internet. Yeah, Kim slowing down the internet terribly here right now.
The question reminds me of the type of question that he.
The hot one who's asked. You ever see that show, Hot Ones?
No.
This guy who is beating. Thank you very much. I appreciate. I'll take that as a compliment, definitely.
Yeah.
He's beating like spicy wings with the guest, and asking them questions. But some really interesting questions. So who's the person struggling with eating the peppery chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you say there, Nigel Monkey soon again. 6 to 12 guests.
6 to 12 guest capacity on a live, and any number in the chat would be awesome for this part of Trini YouTube community. Is it?
Yeah, what happened?
Wait, but is that something that you could facilitate remotely with YouTube?
You have to look at that. Like you could have them online.
Yeah,
and talk to
that'll
them,
be fantastic.
As people online and questioning them and whatever. Because
Yeah,
to
I
have
know
a
there's
crowd
soft.
like that, it will be too tough.
Yeah, you could do there's this show, a piece of software called StreamYard that you might be able to facilitate something like that.
All of them on time.
Yeah. So folks, thanks
Sure.
again for your support. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Sorry, you had something to say?
Yeah, as you mentioned, your studio, you need a quiet place and a kind of room that locked down, right? You have a room downstairs. You know there will be a perfect studio, no sound emanation, nothing is going to get into your day. That is what you need.
That would be a fantastic
tight area. But how it is, you need it like a stock room. But
yeah,
you know,
what you have to do is to kind of dress the room into like padding the walls and what the acoustic panels. Yeah, there's a fantastic space for that, boy.
Yes.
Yeah,
and the madam don't say she want to put you in the dog
yeah,
house.
exactly. So that like effects.
You're
like...
making too much noise upstairs. Get downstairs, boy.
And I have a little dog in the background that is the barking while I'm going on. Boy.
You should come by me with them dogs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanna bring them up. So yeah, man, that's
Pleasant morning to all the people again. It was wonderful with this link. So you know we on live on the web and thing. What can I say? I hope we will do this soon again. Blessed morning to each and every one of you all over the world.
Yes,
Thank you
man.
very much.
Salutations.
Salute.
Have a great day. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
Pleasant morning.
Big up to all artists, creative. Came we on a live, eh? I just like you know. Hi. Yeah, no, this was like you know, in case I seen you nice and blurry. You look sick.
Hi, man and ma'am.
Look the dog in the backyard.
Yeah.
I carry lucky in the river the other day.
And we started this thing this morning, but it's already into evening.
Yeah.
So you know, thank you all again. Pleasant day.
Hey, Jacob and Nish. You come just in time. We going. Take care.
Bye. We done.